Hey there, my name's Miranda, and in today's video I'm showing you how to paint the easiest watercolor painting for beginners. By the time you're done watching this video, you'll be able to paint this easy watercolor landscape in only 10 minutes or less. So come paint with me. In this watercolor tutorial, I'm using the pigments Cadmium Yellow Light, Cobalt Turquoise, and Translucent Turquoise by the brand Paul Rubens. To start off, load up your flat brush or mop brush with water and apply it evenly all over the paper. You're going to use the wet on wet technique to create the first layer. Load up your brush with the yellow, I'm using Cadmium Yellow Light, and apply it at the bottom of the paper. Work your way up towards the middle, and as you work your way up, you should create a light gradient. It should be darker pigment at the bottom and lighter pigment towards the middle. Load up your brush with the Cobalt Turquoise pigment and apply it to the top of the paper. Work your way down towards the middle of the paper, and as you do so, the pigment needs to get lighter. Pay attention to the middle because you need to be very careful here. You don't want to accidentally create green in your sky. The best way to blend these two pigments is by using more water in the middle area where they are meeting. Make sure that you are only slightly overlapping the pigments, just enough to blend and touch, but not enough to create the green color. While the first layer is drying, you can prepare the pigment for the clouds. I'm using a combination of Cobalt Turquoise and Translucent Turquoise. Take out your round brush and load it up with the blue pigment. The paint to water ratio should have a bit more water than paint. Use small circular strokes to create the shapes of clouds. They should be fluffy and rounded so that they have volume. You're in luck. Clouds have no particular shape, so you can paint them any way you want. I am painting smaller and thinner clouds along the bottom and thicker and more voluminous clouds towards the top. Once you've painted a few clouds, focus on painting those smaller, thinner clouds towards the middle of the painting. Essentially, what you're trying to create is a slight gradient with lighter clouds in the middle, mid-tone clouds towards the upper middle part, and then the darkest clouds at the very top. To paint the darkest clouds, your paint to water ratio should have more pigment than water so that it can retain the vibrancy of the dark pigment. You're using the wet on dry technique to paint the clouds, so while those clouds are still wet, you could come in with a little more dark pigment to give these clouds some more values. By adding darker values to certain parts of the clouds, you're making those clouds look more dynamic. So what I chose to do was to add some dark pigment towards the tops of these clouds. That way, the clouds are not just one solid tone. In this section of the tutorial, you'll be mixing your blue and yellow pigment to create green. I created a mixture of the Cadmium Yellow Light, the Cobalt Turquoise, and I added a little bit of Translucent Turquoise. Now pay attention to the lower third of your painting because it's in this region where you're going to create the outline of mountains. Use the very tip of your brush to create the outline and then fill in all of the space beneath those mountain peaks with the green pigment. This represents the furthest mountains that are in the distance, so they're going to be the lightest layer. For the next layer, you're going to darken the pigment just a little bit, and then you're going to come in to paint a slope. So what you're painting here is just a shorter, smaller slope, and you can paint it on either side of the painting. Because it's in the midground, it needs to be darker than the first layer of mountains in the back. To create depth in a painting, remember this rule. Objects that are in the background appear lighter because they're further away, whereas objects in the foreground appear darker because they are closer to the viewer. To paint the last layer, all you're going to do is paint another slope going in the opposite direction. Fill in the entire hill with the pigment, and remember, this layer is going to be the darkest because it's closest in the foreground. Use the very tip of your brush to create the vague outline of trees. So these are not detailed trees. They're far enough away where we're just creating the illusion of a forest, but we're not showing anything super detailed. Remember, we're keeping this painting easy, simple, and approachable, so let's not overcomplicate things. Use the very tip of your brush to create those vague outlines, and then come in with a little more pigment to darken the layer if you need to. At the very bottom, I'm just adding a little bit of darker green pigment, and I'm allowing that pigment to flow spontaneously into the areas where I've already laid down the wet on dry technique. Alright, we're completely done with the landscape, so the final thing to do is to add a little detail into the sky because right now it looks a little bit empty. So take your darkest pigment, whatever blue that you were using, and dilute it a bit and then load it up on your brush. Switch to a size 2 round brush, so something smaller than what you were using, and use the very fine tip to create little V's and X's in the sky. These V's and X's represent flying birds, so essentially they create the form of the wings. Make sure that a couple of the birds are lighter and make a few of them darker, because that way adding that variation will make some birds look closer and further away. Alright, now comes the most exciting part. Carefully peel away each piece of tape by pulling in the opposite direction and applying light pressure as you do so. Congratulations for completing this super easy watercolor painting. If you enjoyed painting with me, then stick around because I have another watercolor tutorial for you. It's just as fun and just as easy, so click the button on screen and I'll see you in the next video.